Good evening and welcome to For FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan. And today's a very exciting day here in our studios as we unveil our new graphic system.
Yeah, here on this Monday's show, we're going to premiere our graphic system that we have been setting up this entire past week with the help of Jean, who came down from WSI to help us train and everything. So thank you, Jean.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it, but I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a very awesome experience for all of us here at FSU Weather for the new graphic system. But in the meantime, let's talk about the weather over the last few days. It actually was very nice this weekend.
Yeah, I got to spend a lot of time outside, and it felt really comfortable, especially going into today with the lower dew points. It felt really nice when I walked outside.
It's been very dry outside, and we are going to have some changes as we go into tomorrow. Not as nice as it's been since Friday, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, we'll see some rain heading into tomorrow as we'll actually get a look at that throughout the rest of the show with our new graphic system. So everything will look a little more different.
Yeah, and it's also going to get cooler as we go into later in the week. It's going to be cool, and there's an interesting thing about our highs for later in the week that I find it interesting. I'm not sure about you, but
with the cooler temperatures?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. I'll show you in my local forecast. But for now, let's send it off to Alyssa to give us an overview with our brand new graphics.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm honored to be the very first person to show these new graphics. So let's take a look at today's almanac. We will see our actual temperatures being 73 degrees today for our high, which is just a little bit above our average, and our low from this morning, 37 degrees, which is below 45, which is our average, but we're nowhere near where we were seeing for our records. Checking in with our radar, not much in terms of rain here in Tallahassee. Looking a little bit further north, you can see some rain. That is associated with the cold front, which will begin to push through going into tomorrow and into tomorrow evening. Zooming in a little bit just to give you, zooming out a little bit just to give you a bigger picture of the southeast and where this cold front is located currently. It's going from Memphis all the way to Houston, extending all through that way. And if you look a little bit closer, you can see some lightning associated with that. So going into tomorrow, we will see some thunderstorms and lightning. So be careful of that if you have plans going in through tomorrow, because that is definitely the main factor going through our storm outlook here in Tallahassee. Thunderstorms over most of the southeast, and looking towards St. Pete and Tampa, we are seeing marginal risk coming. We're seeing for Tuesday it being rainy, colder air once that front pushes through, and a nor'easter has been persisting for the past few days. So we're going to pass it on actually over to Michael to take a look at our local weather.
Yeah, thanks, Alyssa. So let's take a look at our FSU weather stem cam. You can see the sun is starting to set behind Doak Campbell Stadium. A very gorgeous shot. That's how it's been since Friday. But again, there's going to be changes as we go into tonight and into tomorrow. But right now, it is 67 degrees, sunny, the way it's been since Friday again. But the difference between the last few days and today, the winds are coming out from the south, meaning the moisture is returning. Now, temperatures across the region range from 67 here in Tallahassee to 72 in Bainbridge. We actually have 64 here in Valdosta. They're a cool spot in the region right now. Dew points are actually relatively higher compared to this time yesterday. Yesterday, our dew points were in the 20s. Now they're close to 50 degrees here, 46 in Tallahassee, 50 down towards Apalachicola. The reason why we're having higher dew points, the winds have shifted where they're coming from the south now instead of the north. That's bringing in the moisture again from the Gulf of Mexico ahead of that cold front moving in tomorrow. Satellite and radar, we had some clouds earlier. They moved out, and now it's clear. But the clouds are going to return as we go into tonight. As you can see there, 51 degrees will be our low. Much warmer compared to these last few nights where we actually went down to the 30s this morning. So much warmer with our low being at 51. Almost 60 as a low in Apalachicola. Tomorrow is going to be one of those washout kind of days where you want to stay indoors. A Netflix kind of day. 72 here in Tallahassee. 76 down towards Apalachicola. Now, the reason for those rain chances are due to a cold front moving through. There is a general thunderstorm threat here, but the threat is higher as we go down towards Cross City, as you can see that there. The reason for that is they're going to have some daytime heating to allow some more instability in the air. Therefore, the severe weather threat is higher down there. But as we go into our future cast, you'll see clear right now, but the clouds build as we head into tonight and into tomorrow. Yeah, there. These. Yep. So as we go into tomorrow, you'll see a line start to come from Alabama, and that line will move through the Tallahassee area just after the lunchtime hour into the before rush hour. We're expecting before the afternoon rush hour. We're expecting that line to move in. You can see right there. It will be around Quincy, Bainbridge, and it will move through the Tallahassee area as we move in through the evening. But as we move into our 7-day forecast, you'll see that the showers there on Tuesday. But look at the highs on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We haven't experienced that in a long time. Those were our lows a few weeks ago, Brantley.
That's right, Michael. We are looking at some cooler temperatures here along the way because of that cold front that's moving in. So our futurecast winds do show that we have a lot of moisture coming here off the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to provide that moisture for this cold front that's about to move through, bringing that widespread rain ahead of those cold temperatures. So currently we have winds coming out of the south as we head into tonight. This is Monday at 10 p.m. later on tonight, and then as we head into tomorrow, winds are going to shift after the cold front passes out of the northwest. But for now, we do have our radar showing a lot of thunderstorms popping up in the Ark-La-Tex region. That's going to keep on that way through the next few hours before things start to move over towards more of Mississippi and Louisiana. They did have some severe thunderstorms earlier today, and that severe threat is persisting through the evening and tomorrow as well. And that's why we have widespread power outages expected for some areas. Other places could just see them scattered or moderate amounts of power outages. And even as we get closer to the Florida Panhandle and Tallahassee, the Big Bend region, we do see these scattered to moderate areas of potential power outages, and it doesn't take much for our power to go out here in Tallahassee. We all know that from living here, that even just a few rain showers can bring some of these really thin trees down on top of the power lines, especially on those canopy roads. So power outages are likely for certain areas if we get those scattered thunderstorms. Tonight's forecast, though, 51 degrees in Tallahassee. Meanwhile, over there on the coast in Jacksonville, 48. Other places are going to have a little bit warmer there ahead of that cold front. So New Orleans, 58 degrees at the airport there with thunderstorms. 49 in Jackson, 42 in Tupelo, and then after that cold front passes, we'll be seeing a much different story tomorrow. So storm outlook, we do see thunderstorms in the forecast for most of the southeast tomorrow, maybe even a marginal risk for places on the western Florida coast there and the Gulf Coast. And then as we move into Wednesday, that threat does go down towards South Florida, where places like Miami and Key West could see some thunderstorms as well. Then tomorrow's forecast, Tallahassee, thunderstorms with under 72 degrees for our high temperatures, 70 in Shreveport, 66 in New Orleans. Those storms are going to clear out of the Louisiana, Mississippi areas by the midday as they make their way towards the Florida Panhandle. And then right behind it, where the cold front was, they have clear skies because high pressure is starting to move in. Now we're going to take it back over to the desk with Alyssa and Tevin.
All right, thanks so much, Brantley.
Thank you. Yes, it's nice to see that we're going to be getting some cooler temperatures coming through the next few days.
That's right. And so we've been talking about some cooler temperatures coming in, but it looks like, unfortunately, those cooler temperatures will actually stick around. If we get right to max, go ahead and take a look at the graphics here. We might be able to see that for parts of the United States, especially on the West Coast, likely to be above average. So some spots, about 50% chance of being above average. So there's a bullseye right over Denver, and then southern Nevada, places like New Mexico could see chances of temperatures above average.
Right, and the dark red where you can see over by Denver as well as Arizona, that is 50% higher than the normal temperature, and everything around it will go from 50 to 30 and then to 40. So the darkest will be 40.
And then heading out towards the East Coast, or the eastern portion of the United States, the Carolinas, D.C., down to Georgia, Memphis. It's tell of two cities here, or cold air masses we'll speak of, or air masses we'll speak of. Memphis, Tennessee, a 50% chance of below average temperature. So we've had a taste of spring last week, and now we're starting to cool back down. likely going to continue cooling back down as we get into mid-March, which is so sad because we're all looking forward to spring, which starts in just a few days, but maybe the rain makes it feel like spring.
Right. And see, looking at the rain, it kind of makes sense why we're seeing some cooler temperatures, because the clouds will make us feel a little bit cooler than usual, especially after these cold fronts are pushing through for us here in the southeast.
That's right. So Tallahassee down to Ocala and even Orlando and maybe some parts of Tampa to Naples, likely going to see a 50% chance of above average precipitation amounts for mid-March. But heading out towards the west, also going to see some above average precipitation. But look what lies in the middle, Alyssa. What is that?
Oh, it is very dry. Very dry. There's actually going to be quite a bit of droughts over here in the southeast. We're not seeing as much droughts as many places across the Great Plains.
Yeah, so places like Oklahoma City into Arkansas and Texas, not good right now. You want to rack up on most of the rainfall now. But look all the way up into the Great Lakes region in the Midwest, Minneapolis, Omaha, Rapid City, everywhere looking bone dry for mid-March, which is not good. You want to rack up on the rainfall now so that when we get into those summer months, you don't have to worry about being in severe drought conditions, which is unfortunate as we tee up into March and April. Especially some of those farmers in Arkansas, I know, could certainly use some of the rainfall, which they did get just last week from some flash flooding. So, but you don't want all of that at one time.
And plus, we're coming closer to spring. Spring starts on March 20th, I believe.
March 20th, the Tuesday after spring break.
So hopefully around then, we'll start to bring some more rain for some flowers.
All right, now let's head out to Brittany Bowman. She's got to look at your local forecast. Brittany, is it going to be raining anytime soon? Please say yes.
Yes, we actually do have some rain in the forecast, but for now our actual temperature is at 73 degrees and our actual temperature this morning was at 37. So we are seeing temperatures just about around average and our low just around just above our average at 45, but nothing near our record we saw in 2002 at 21 degrees. Taking a look at our temperatures across the Big Bend area, we're at 67 in Tallahassee, 72 in Quincy, and 68 in Thomasville. We're seeing these nice fall-like temperatures, honestly, across the area. This orange color makes a good representation of that, those upper 60s and lower 70s. And also, it was pretty dry today. We had a dew point of 46 in Tallahassee currently and 39 in Quincy. A little more humid down at the coast at Apalachicola. We have that southerly wind bringing in that moisture down there. Looking at our next chance of rain, you can see the current cold front is situated over the Mississippi, Louisiana area, bringing the rain up north. This is where our friends up north is going to receive that northeaster. But as we go into tomorrow, we're going to see, well, right now we have clear skies. When we go into tomorrow, we'll see that rain off to our west, move into our area, and that will bring our chance of rain. And again, our winds are coming out of the south. Nothing too much to talk about. 11 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 6 in St. Mark's, and we're calm over in Valdosta. But we will see those winds start to switch directions as that cold front approaches. But for tonight, we'll see those lows in the lower 50s and upper 40s across our area. 51 in Tallahassee, 48 in Perry. Valdosta will actually get down to 46. It's going to be pretty chilly over there. And Apalachicola just getting into those 50s at 59. But for tomorrow, lows in the low 70s across the area. And you can see those storm icons across the area. We'll be receiving rain and we'll have that chance of storms. So be on the lookout for that. 72 in Tallahassee as well as St. Mark's. 74 in Perry, and Bainbridge will only get up to 70 degrees up there. Looking at our 7-day forecast, you can see that chance of rain on Tuesday at 90%. We'll have that high of 71. That will cool us down for Wednesday. We'll see those partly cloudy skies, 65 degrees, and look at the low for Thursday morning, 39 degrees, as well as Friday. We'll have those sunny skies, so it will be beautiful outside, nice cool conditions, more like our average. Our next chance of rain will be introduced on Saturday and into Sunday. We have an 85% or an 80% chance of rain, a high of 75. And Monday, we're going to see those sunny conditions in 64. So a really nice start to our spring break here at FSU. But for now, let's take a look at more of a bigger picture with Colby.
Hey, thanks, Brittany. We took a look there at that was a look more locally, but hey, let's take a look nationally right now. 30 degrees Minneapolis, very cold conditions there associated with that front, a lot of dry air back behind it. 34 over in Billings, 46 over in Seattle. Detroit right above freezing there at 33. So really predominantly cold temperatures across the northern sections and the western sections of the United States. Much more mild as we go into southern portions of the United States. Looking at the radar, we can see a lot of snow associated with that front draped across the United States. It's hard to see here. I want you to see this precipitation here because we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings across Louisiana and portions of western Mississippi. The snow coming out of portions of southern Canada, Saskatchewan and Manitoba there into the Dakotas and Minnesota as well. Zooming in there, Minneapolis over to Bismarck, Rapid City on the back side of that low. Things will be clearing there. We go back down south and you can see how that precipitation then changes back over to storms. They're coming out of Arkansas, coming out of Louisiana as well, associated with some small hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds there. We're going to watch those as that system makes its way our direction along that boundary. Dew point values, really it's just this moisture tongue coming out of the Big Easy, 63-degree dew point there, making it to Memphis at 57, and then as we go west, it's just dry. Negative 13-degree dew point there in Albuquerque. Very dry conditions out west, back behind that front. Watches and warnings, a complete slew and absolute artistic colors, lots of colors. Up north, we've got winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings in the Dakotas. We come down into the south, and it's all about the red flag warnings there across Oklahoma, Kansas. Tevin mentioned earlier about that dryness, not good news out there. Definitely don't want to have any fires start. They will just get ramped up with those low dew point values and just no moisture to speak of out west. Going into that drought monitor, really shows that picture there. You can see, wow, exceptional to extreme drought. That's going to be western Oklahoma into the panhandle of Texas. Even further out west, they've been having problems with the snowpack. Aspen, Vail, Breckenridge, Taos, Angel Fire, all the places in New Mexico and Colorado really lacking on the snowpack. Not a good situation out west. It's that big ridging pattern that we've seen over the last several months, so not a good situation out there. But for tonight, we'll drop down to 44 in Dallas. That's back behind that front. It'll actually be making a passage throughout the evening hours. And boy, those temperatures really drop Mile High City there. 22 back to 15 in Billings, 34 in Seattle. And then as we go back east, not as bad. But for tomorrow, 68 will make it almost back up to 70, kind of a rebound there in Dallas. Much cooler conditions, though, persist back to the west and to the north. But as we go to the eastern seaboard, let's not forget about that. All the action has been in the middle portions of the country. Hey, we'll be nice, though. We're in Atlanta, 63. And hey, look at there. You can start to see 66 New Orleans. We start to see those thunderstorms creep in as that front starts to make its way across the United States. But hey, now we're going to take it over to the desk with Jennifer and Brantley.
Yeah, thanks, Colby. And we're actually going to talk about somewhere outside of the United States right now.
Yeah, our friends there across the pond are not only seeing frozen temperatures, their economy is also frozen by the latest winter storm that they've experienced over there, with thousands of flight delays, and their industries for businesses are just at a standstill right now because people can't get outside.
Yeah, people aren't really leaving their homes, as a lot of retail stores and chains have actually been suffering over these past few times they've gotten hit by storms. These big Atlantic storms that are crossing over, including the one just recently out of out of the Northeast.
That's right. Yeah, it's headed over there right now. So the nor'easter that we just had here in the U.S. is about to affect them again. So as they're trying to recover, it's going to prolong that recovery time because they're going to get hit by another storm.
And actually, some effects from these winter storms include London has actually seen some water problems as low pressure water pressure in many homes. People aren't getting any water into their homes because pipes are bursting because of the freezing temperatures after cooling and freezing over and again. It's kind of a tough situation for them.
And dozens of people have been injured by through car accidents just by driving on the ice there. So the ice and freezing temperature is causing lots of problems, and also the seafood industry has been affected, tremendously over there because tens of thousands of fish and shellfish have washed up. There was a 3-degree drop in the water temperature over there, and that just shocked a lot of the seafood that was in there, and that's one of their main industries.
And there's also coastal flood warnings because of these storms, high gale warnings as well because they're seeing high winds in these areas. It's It's pretty rough right now in the UK.
So they should get a reprieve today and tonight before the next system moves in. So hopefully they will get a little bit of time to recover and stock up before the next storm. Our most recent nor'easter heads over there. And then, unfortunately, we predict another nor'easter coming for our area, for the United States, too. So eventually that could make it over there in the next,
Yeah, in the next 2 weeks.
In the next 2 weeks.
It's kind of a weekly process for them.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to be trying to recover for a long time, economically as well as physically.
I've seen a lot of posts from people in the UK right now, and they're sharing pictures of the effects, and you see the highways have been backed up with these ice conditions and people getting in accidents. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some pictures over there where the waves have frozen so much. There's just ice floating in the waves and like huge chunks of it piling on shore. So definitely going to be a long process to get everything cleared up, and then eventually the businesses will have to reopen too. But
we're actually going to bring things a little more local, taking a look at around Florida. I'm going to give you a look. Currently right now the temperatures across the Sunshine State are pretty nice. The temperatures right now are ranging from the 60s into the 70s currently. About 67 degrees for Tallahassee, as well as 67 degrees for Gainesville, and 72 degrees for Fort Myers. So keeping the sunshine this afternoon throughout most of the state is feeling pretty nice when you walk outside, because these dew points are comfortable across the state of Florida. 46 degrees here in Tallahassee when you walk outside the door. 32, a little bit more dry in Gainesville, as well as a little bit higher, a little more humid in areas like Miami and West Palm Beach. About 50 degrees for Miami and 47 degrees for West Palm Beach. As you take a look at the radar across the Sunshine State, we're keeping things mainly clear. Some scattered skies in areas like Jacksonville and Tallahassee, but the storms are from the north of us are going to make their way into the state, so we're going to feel the effects of that going into tomorrow. But the drought across Florida is staying pretty regional for most of the state. Areas like Tallahassee are seeing a moderate drought, as well as South Florida seeing some dry conditions. They're actually seeing abnormally dry for this time of the year. So the rain throughout the next few days will start to help this drought, as the rain will kind of keep it from feeling a little too dry for the soil. Futurecasts for our winds are going to show where the cold front's coming on through throughout the next few days, as winds mainly from the south are bringing a surge of moisture into the panhandle, but it will start to cut off as you get around Tallahassee. For tomorrow, around 3:30 into the afternoon, we'll see that cold front making its way on through, as well as the rain chances and the higher winds as well. So 17 miles per hour out of Tallahassee and 12 miles per hour out of Tampa. They'll see some of the moderate storms because of the heating that occurs in the afternoon. Tonight's forecast, though, 67 degrees for Pensacola. They'll see the storms making their way on through over to tonight, but 51 degrees for Tallahassee. Will be a bit more warmer than what we'll see for the next few days, as well as 47 degrees for Gainesville, 55 degrees with some overcast skies for Tampa, and it's feeling pretty nice when you get to Miami. About 61 degrees for Miami with clear skies. It'll be a nice picture-perfect night for Miami. Tomorrow's forecast will see the storms in the panhandle earlier in the day, but by the afternoon, some areas in the west will see, in the east, we'll see some of the effects of that storms. 70 degrees with scattered storms for Pensacola, as well as 72 degrees with that storm chances mainly in the afternoon for Tallahassee. 79 degrees for Jacksonville, and 78 degrees for Gainesville. And sunshine for most areas of South Florida, 84 degrees for Orlando, and about 78 degrees for Tampa. So, Tevin, take a look at what's going on for the rest of the area.
Yeah, so we'll start with the rest of the area. This is one thing that we do want to point out for tomorrow. Just a general risk of thunderstorms, especially for areas along the Treasure Coast near Tampa down to maybe Fort Myers just a little bit, and then up towards Cedar Key, expecting a marginal risk of severe storms there. But if you're in the lighter shade of green, i.e. you, Tallahassee, here at home, maybe just a general risk of thunderstorms. And then by Wednesday, that shifts way down towards the south near Miami and along the southeast and southwestern coast of Florida. So if you're doing any traveling along both of those coasts on Wednesday, do expect those amounts to start to go up as far as rainfall goes. Here's a look at the time-lapse camera that started this morning. You see the clouds starting to stream in around 10 o'clock, and that was the trend as we went throughout the day. We had a brief clearing thanks to some high pressure. However, tonight into tomorrow, expect those clouds to continue increasing because of our severe weather chances. They're going up today and tomorrow. Currently right now, no severe weather. Temperatures at 67 degrees and sunny out there. Winds are from the southwest at 11 miles an hour. So we are starting to surge in some of that moisture, providing somewhat of a warm up as we go throughout the evening hours and overnight hours, but also the dew points will start to increase. Perry, 63 degrees right now. Valdosta at 64. Thomasville also at a nice 64. Tallahassee at 67. Bainbridge looks like it will be the hot spot, sunny and 70 degrees right now. Quincy, take a look at this. Your dew points starting to go up from Bainbridge down to Quincy and Tallahassee. Earlier, as we were preparing this newscast, this weathercast more specifically, the dew points were in the mid to lower 30s, like Perry at 38, but now they're starting to go up. And of course, Apalachicola is along the coast, so they will certainly see some higher dew points. Dry skies for most of the satellite and radar right now, maybe a few passing clouds, but that will change because of this cold front from Memphis all the way down towards Houston and southeast Texas. Jackson, Mississippi also getting in on some of that rainfall tonight. This approaching cold front is what is going to drive our chances of rainfall and possibly severe weather as we get into the evening and overnight hours and early morning hours on Tuesday. Tonight, your forecast, 50 degrees for Monticello and 51 for Tallahassee. St. Mark's at 56 degrees. Perry at about 48 degrees tonight, dropping down into the upper 40s. Tomorrow, we warm right back up, 70 for Thomasville and 71 for Monticello. Tallahassee at about 72 degrees and St. Mark's is at 72. Perry at 74. So let's time it out for you on Futurecast. Tonight, 10 o'clock tonight, note the timing if you're doing any late night studying or eating like me. You should see mostly clear skies, but as we start to tick away the time into early tomorrow morning, expect the cloud coverage to start to increase, and then bam, just like that, by midday, here come the rain and showers. 6:15, note the timing. It's already in the western portion of the viewing area in Quincy and down to Wilma and Liberty County, and then we'll expect that to move on into Leon County and into the Tallahassee area tomorrow into tomorrow night. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast. A 90% chance of thunderstorms on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we do dry out, but note that cool down, 65 degrees. The low on Thursday night, 39 degrees. Friday at about 67 degrees. The weekend looking a little bit better, maybe on the front end of the weekend. The back end on the weekend, though, 80% chances of rainfall. I don't like the weekend that much. I do, however, I will say, Brittany, it's warmer, but rain. It could be cool rain, and we don't like cool rain. That's like the worst type of rain. We were talking about that earlier.
Yes, especially the start of spring break. That's not really the weather you want to see. You're excited for. You're out of classes. You're done studying for the week, and cold rain. And then the cold rain. But it's not cold rain. It's just a mild rain. Temperatures at 75 degrees. It won't be too bad. And I do say, though, Wednesday through Friday, you might want to carry that jacket because we haven't seen temperatures in the upper 30s, the lows in the upper 30s since February 6th. Aside from today and over the weekend, the last time we saw that was February 5th and 6th. So it will be a shock to the system. Maybe you want to layer up as you go out there. And you won't need any layers tonight. I don't know if we've got that Skycam view. It looks fantastic outside. We are just really enjoying these new graphics that we have. Oh, yes, we are very excited. We're all weather nerding out here in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
We're really having fun with this.
We are having fun with it, and we want to send a few special thank yous, of course, to the Florida State University, Dr. Don Alquist, our fearless leader, and Gene Broadwater, who came in from Orlando, Florida, who works with WSI and trained all of us up on this last week. It was like really hurting a bunch of cattle, you know. Yes. I feel so sorry for him because we're all just in and out of here all the time.
Yes, he went above and beyond, and he would repeat things he's already said for people who had to go study for a test or missed it because they were in class. He definitely exceeded our expectations and really prepared us for these new graphics.
Went above and beyond the call of duty, and we like to see that here at FSU Weather. Let's leave you with one last look at the 7-day forecast. Potentially, if we can, I don't know, maybe we can try to take it up Max and see. There we go. There's that 7-day forecast. Not too bad. Let's recap it real quick. Tuesday, a 90% chance of showers, drying out Wednesday into Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Don't put up the rain gear just yet. You might need it, especially both mornings.
Yes, exactly. And at start of spring break, we are seeing sunny skies, but it's still a little chilly. So if you're really trying to go to the beach, maybe you just need a nice cover-up to put on over your swimsuit and enjoy those sunny skies out there. And
don't forget, we are all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, /FSU Weather. For your Monday night forecast, I'm student meteorologist Tevin Wooten.
And I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
Have a great night.